viewers, this is Nisma Amir with another episode of our amazing program Meet the CEO, जिसका मकसद है पाकिस्तान के कामयाब तरीन CEOs को डिस्कवर करना और आपसे मिलवाना, so that you can learn from the success and the struggles behind their journey. Today we're going to meet Mr. Tarek Hamdy, CEO of 18, which is a premium residential commercial project in Islamabad. Hello and welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me.
It's a pleasure that you're here with us, and I'm looking forward to a very exciting conversation today. To start off, I would want you tell us about your professional journey, how it started off, and how did you eventually pan out your entire career?
Yeah, well, initially my mother, she wanted me to be a doctor because I used to try and treat people and all of that when I was younger. Then my father, being an engineer, he has actually influenced me to go and check it out and all of that. So he started to push me towards engineering and specifically electrical engineering.
And you've done engineering?
That was my beginnings, right? So I'm 55 years old today, so I graduated in 1990.
You started off being an engineer, you did your MBA, but then eventually, how did you figure out, or what was that particular moment when you kind of set aside engineering and you ventured out into other things?
What I've done is that because I was an electrical engineer, so I started off on lighting. So I've done a lot of projects with lighting, tunnel lighting, bridge lighting, sports lighting, stadiums. So it gave me a lot of insight about the projects, the fields, and what happens within these, because they are very similar. But then in 1999, there was a Chinese kind of custom removal and floating of all their equipment. So the companies, the lighting companies, started to be bankrupt because of the Chinese. So I had to switch. I was general manager already of a very good company, Shredder, but then I had to switch.
So before we talk about your switch, you've been associated to such big names, international organizations. You've worked at monumental positions. How has that experience been like? And also, is there one, let's say, position or firm or organization that was really like career changing for you?
The good thing about those multinationals or international organizations is that they form you, they train you. They are very conscious to that. And if they don't train you, they don't know how to use you. So they train you, they give you such a solid foundation in everything. They start from finance to construction to buildings to engineering to everything. They train you even on human resources, on management skills, all of this. So I was just 25 years old when I was already a general manager because they are not afraid of granting these positions to young guys. And I got this position and then I started to learn. I learned everything from management skills, from HR, IT, everything, because these things started to kick in. And they were very important. Sales courses, it was from one course to the other, from one training to the other. Training, I visited the 28 branches of the factories around the world. So they sent me everywhere in South Korea.
And that would have given so much exposure,
exactly.
Of course.
So it gave me, it prepared me for what came next in my life, but at the same time, it gave me a lot of exposure, lots of understanding to what was happening around the world.
And then you switched to real estate. How did that happen, and in which part of the world did that happen?
Okay, so what happened is that I was very well established as a general manager of Shredder. They went bankrupt in Egypt and in the Middle East, in Lebanon specifically. So I lost my job, and I had to go and apply for something. And there was no lighting company as such in Egypt back then, and in the factory. So I had to go and opt and apply for a marketing manager somewhere. So I did apply for a job of marketing manager at one of the big developers in Egypt. It's a Kuwaiti-based developer. It's called the Kharafi Group. They are very well known, and they had a big project, which is about 32 million square meters of land. It was huge. On the Red Sea, about 700 kilometers from Cairo. I did push my way through from being a marketing manager to marketing director to marketing and sales director to managing director of the land and commercial properties. So in 2005, the owners, they fought together, and we all had to shift. So from the same Kuwaiti group, one of the partners, he asked me if I would go to London and work for the Princess Charities Foundation, which was Prince Charles, to develop some products which are very special, architectural based.
You've been lucky that you've got an opportunity, but that's also because of the stature of work that you had done.
Yes, I think that I was very lucky, obviously, alhamdulillah, shukrulillah. I worked throughout very hard, but I have a lot of faith that if you work hard, you're always going to find your path. So I started with the Princess Charities Foundation. Now I started on a built environment project, which was all green and environment sustainable and all of that.
How was that experience?
That was amazing experience because you get to see the palaces like St. James Palace and Clarence House and all of that.
All the things that we just see on TV.
Yeah, so then you find that it's very simple to be in the living room with His Royal Highness Prince Charles. Now he's not Prince, he's King.
King now,
then he was very much into arts and all of that. It was really an amazing experience. And then from 2005 till 2008, then I was called to become a CEO from the same group, to become the CEO of the Philippine Clarksfield, which is another mixed use.
You've been all over the world.
Yes.
So before we talk about 18, which is a premium residential project, we will go in detail. How did you cross paths with 18 and how did you land up here in Pakistan? That's what I want to know before.
Okay, very good. So while I was in London and we were developing this Highly Economic City project, it was a good job, but it was a bit tiring for me to be based in London and have to go to Saudi Arabia almost every week. So I was traveling a lot. Yes. Suddenly I got a phone call from a headhunter. Someone who is headhunting, big positions and all of that. He knew my father in the old times, and then so he associated the name with this. They called me and they said, would you like to be CEO of a mixed-use development project in Pakistan, Islamabad? I immediately said yes.
But by then, did you know what Pakistan is about? Was it like on your mental map somewhere, or did you get like a little overwhelmed? Pakistan.
Living in London for 12 years, you have Pakistani doctors, you have Pakistani friends, you have Pakistani co-workers.
Yeah, definitely.
Saudi Arabia as well, in Dubai, because I used to go. So I know, and I'm Egyptian.
You knew the real picture.
So I know the real picture, and I know that this is a very nice country. My mother as well was a translator, and she used to come in the to Islamabad in the these kind of Arab League leaders, diplomats and all of that. So she used to come, and she used to come back with lots of wood carved and plenty of goodies and carpets and stuff like that. So I had a very good idea about Pakistan, and when they said Najib Sawiris project in Pakistan, I knew that it was serious. And then when they said Pakistan, I was also interested in the culture. And definitely me being in Saudi Arabia in Hayl, me being in the Philippine Clarksfield and Subic Bay, which is very difficult places to be in, me being in Egypt in a remote location on the Red Sea with nothing to eat, Islamabad sounded like heaven,
piece of
right?
cake.
Yes. So I did accept, and I came immediately, and I was asked to join in 15 days. So I asked for a bit longer, I had to give my notice and all of that, and then I joined. So this was my move in 2017, June specifically.
Great. So moving ahead to the star of the show, 18, which you are the CEO of, and it's a project of Najib Sawiris. And I want you to tell us what's the ideology, what's the vision, what is 18 about? Okay,
so Najib Sawiris has a specific love for Pakistan. He came here, he established the first network operator, which was Mobilink at that time, just today. He has also invested in the TWA, which is the undersea cable, and he has other ventures around. He was interested in buying banks, but then at that time in 2004, he had a vision with his partner, the Saifullah family, to buy a plot of land where the planned new international airport would be. So on the way, on the link road that exists today, there was a plan in 2004, believe it or not, it was that far away,
2004,
that the new international airport would be built over there. So being businessman, having a good vision, he said, let's buy this plot of land, it's very nice. Started to consolidate this land, about 4,839 canals, to have a project, a new lifestyle. That Pakistan deserves best, deserves a good project, deserves a good example, and we need to create like a revolution in the real estate sector. And we launched the design, and we have done things I'm not saying very different than other developers in Pakistan, but we've asked the people, we've done market assessments, we've made sure that all the wishes of the Pakistanis to in a house would be there. It's all very modern, not boring, all consistent, homogeneous and coherent. So this is what the dream was.
So you enter and it is a vibe of its own, and it's, I get it, it's not monotonous, but it's somewhat similar to each other.
Exactly.
It has a vibe.
So there is an element of similarity in every architectural element without having to say, oh, that's the same. No, it's not the same. They are very different. The positioning of the houses are different. The land, the way the spaces are left, how the landscapes fits in within, and how the commercial presents itself. It's not like any other commercial that you're going to find 100 shops in one building. That's not that. We have strict guidelines. We have a design book, and we have an estate management company that will govern this whole operation.
Okay. And if we have to, let's suppose, list down the amenities and the facilities that are available in 18. For example, we have the golf course, and then there's the clubhouse. What would those be?
Developing a destination, you always have to think about when people live, what they will need. So you do a mixed-use development, yes, but when you say mixed-use, it has to be also an integrated kind of destination. So everything has to be integrated. We have houses starting from the 5 marla, 10 marla, 1 canal, 2 canal, 4 canal, and even 8 canals we do, but not too many. Then we have apartments ranging from studio, 1 bed, 2 or 3, and 4, and penthouses. To sustain that, you have also retail space which will accommodate pharmacies, supermarkets, all of it, like small retail shops all around. We have a huge retail village coming in design, which is going to create an experience like Souk Waqif or City Walk in Dubai and that kind of thing, which will provide a very nice retail experience. A couple of towers, serviced apartments, cinemas, that kind of thing. Then you go.
It'll be a world of its own.
And you will have a very big, a very large Kulsum hospital, which is the partners hospital over there. A couple of schools we have as well.
So basically everything is there.
There is a resort, a golf resort on the Gulf directly. Then you have all the amenities around the clubhouse, which is tennis courts, paddle tennis, football courts, the driving range. We have even simulator.
I just want to book a property there right away, just listening to you.
Booking a property is one thing, but experiencing 18 as well.
Of course.
You'll be allowed to have a non-resident membership in the clubhouse. Then you can use the Golf Academy, simulator rooms, trackman, driving range, sauna, yoga rooms, big fitness and yoga rooms, that kind of thing. So I think it's quite complete.
You came to Pakistan and you took up 18 as a CEO in 2017, right?
Yes.
And then soon after, COVID hit, right? And COVID just literally changed the entire world. So in that phase, what were the challenges that you guys faced? How did you deal with COVID?
By the time we started to launch our product, it was already March 2018. Starting in the selling process and awarding our first contract in end of 2018 to build and deliver in 4 years. Then you get hit by COVID starting, let's say, October, November 2019, and people and suddenly February 2020, there's lockdown. So when we just started to move the wheel a bit faster and our infra, the roads were blocked, the contractors stopped, there was no one for 5 months, like there was no work whatsoever. There are moments when we thought...
Must be so tough at that point.
Yes, I mean, I was here with some of the colleagues, some of them were in Cairo, but at some point you start thinking that you need to pack your bags
and leave.
And I'm telling myself, not again, like, not again. So we just held on, and then alhamdulillah, starting, like July, things started to ease. And then September, October, the sites picked up. And every development that you see today in 18, when you pass on the highway, was done in 2 years. 2021 and 2022. We spent so much money and we pushed the contractor so hard for this development to take place, just to recover on the time and to be able to deliver still on time.
When you came to Pakistan, what other challenges you came across being the CEO of a development real estate project? What were those challenges and how you coped up with them?
Lots of challenges, I have to tell you. And like I said, Egyptians and Pakistanis are very similar. So the only reason why Saudi Arabia is thriving and why Egypt in terms of investment has thrived is because they have created what they called the Saudi Arabian General Investment Authority. For investors like us, it's a one-stop shop that solves all the problems. So the investors come in, they get all their approvals, all their monies, everything from these kind of authorities. Here you have the same, you have what they call the Board of Investment, but the Board of Investment, unfortunately, has no power over the authorities and cannot help the investor as much as the others. It has to be empowered because all the authorities are detached. So the challenges are immense. Rupee was at 106 with the dollar. Now it's almost 300. The escalation, the inflation, the devaluation, the supply chain, the custom regulation. Come on, there was a custom.
That makes your planning so uncertain. Like, how are you supposed to plan 6 months prior when you don't know what the dollar rate is going to be?
And tell me about the supply chain when you have custom ban for 4 or 5 months for essential equipment like sanitary ware, like, for example, tiles, like flooring, like some wood, engineered wood and all of that. So in the construction industry, the delivery timelines, although we are slipping a little bit, but we're still on time. And there's no other way of doing it. These are challenges that we need to meet, and we need to meet every day.
In between all these challenges, the COVID chaos, everything, you guys made it, of course. But right now, currently, what stage is 18 at?
If you drive across 18 on the highway, you will see that it's up. It's colorful, the Gulf is green. It will be playable in August. We have the first 9 holes there ready. We have the clubhouse ready. The membership program will be launched. We have a big event for inauguration of the Gulf and the activity and the membership around October or September even. We have delivered the first 6 villas. And people have actually taken possession of their villas in the first cluster.
So the possession is there?
Yes. And we are delivering 1st of April a whole building that you can see on the highway. It's 72 units, and our plan is this year to deliver about 300 units.
So it's ready for people to invest and buy?
Absolutely. It's ready for people to move in. We have the market now that is visible from the highway, where you have a supermarket, a pharmacy, a laundry, a cafe. We have, like the bakery and everything. So we have the essentials.
What is the payment process? Or like, let's suppose I'm a client and I want to get a villa or like an apartment. What's the payment process? How does one book a property there? What's the entire process like?
We have the China Energy Dispatch Office for Asia. They've invested with us and they are finishing their building on the 24th of August this year. And it's visible from the highway. And they intend to move 300 Chinese engineers and all of that and start using their office over there, which will be their headquarters for the Middle East. So that also, along with what we do, we're going to have our own community of about 1,000, plus the contractors, plus the consultant, plus the clients that are getting possession. Every property that we sold over 4 years installment plan. The great advantage here is that our supply is very limited. So we launch by batches. And the price have increased tremendously from the beginning to the end. So who got a 10 Marla at 30 million initially can sell his 10 Marla now at 90 million. The other thing is that the payment plan is 15% down payment and the rest on installment. But our biggest winner here is that we have a fixed price in rupee. And no escalation clauses in the agreement. Which means that with the dollar, if you're an expat and you're earning in dollars, you're getting the property 30% of the value that initially was sold at. So just 106 rupee at 30 million. Now it's 100 million. It's still the same value, but it's 300 rupee per dollar. So the properties in terms of rupees have appreciated a lot and have created a lot of returns and revenue, and people don't want to sell it.
Very lucrative, actually.
Yes, very lucrative.
Right. So I hear you have a very specific affiliation with football, and 18 has some sort of football team as well. Why don't you shed some light on this?
All my life I played football. As I told you, I was born in Belgium and I joined the Standard de Liège football club when I was 8 years old. I played the professional and in second division, 11 aside, 7 aside, 5 aside, everything you can imagine.
That's like the hidden passion then.
When I came to Pakistan, and as I was used to play 2-3 times a week, I started to look for a place to play. And then I went to Sports Center one day, and I was sitting, and they're very young, and I came here, I was already 50 years old, and I asked to play with some young guys. And they were obviously laughing because the old man is coming to play.
Football.
Then we got along quite well, and I discovered talent.
People are crazy about football here, and they're very talented.
Very talented.
But there are no outlets, like proper
Exactly.
outlets. Yeah.
So I started to look at a few, and then I picked about 4 of them.
Okay.
And I said, come and see me. Let's try and make an 18 team. So let's sponsor your education.
Okay.
Let's help you through your educational journey.
That's amazing.
We sign contracts with them.
Okay.
That will provide them, like if they provide grades, they get a monthly stipend, and they get sponsorship of their education tuition fee.
Wow.
And we've started a team 18.
Okay.
This team 18, I got a nice trainer, I got this, and then the team became 15 guys.
Okay.
And we won about 21 trophies around the country. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, they are the best five-a-side team that exists in Pakistan by far, because they win most of everything.
Yeah.
And it's not that the other teams are not good. The other teams are good, but our team is taking proper care. And
Training.
the good thing is that the program was all about a CSR program to keep the young, away from all the other things, try to help them throughout.
Yeah.
So we have a very, very good example of a player that with us became a mechanical engineer, with us got his degree, worked as an MTO. We sponsored him to go and have a master's in project management in Canada.
Wow.
Now he's having a beautiful job with an engineering North American company,
amazing.
and in 6 months he's going to get his PRO, whatever residence.
Amazing.
So it's a pure example of success.
Moving on, of course, your expertise right now is development and real estate and everything. In Pakistan, what potential do you see when it comes to real estate, also as a career option for the youth?
Yeah.
What do you see? What potential do you see?
I think that what is amazing in Pakistan is that you're blessed with various kind of nature environments. You have the north, which is very different. You have Skardu, which has all these valleys and all of these. You have the mountains, you have the 8 highest peaks in the world around. So you go from ski station to sea resorts. You have the mining in Quetta, you have the food in Lahore and the art and the culture. You have the business in Karachi and the seashores. You have the mountains in KP region and the beautiful kind of heritage sites over there. So you have opportunities for 5 stars, and you have opportunities for low income, and you have opportunities from ski to sea to mountains. You go 2 hours from here, you go to Murray and Bourbon, and you feel you're in Switzerland.
I think you summarized it perfectly. The entire geographical edge that we have, definitely that is one thing to consider. What do you think the government should be doing, or any measures that they should be taking in order for the real estate to, boom even more, or let's suppose it should generate more foreign exchange?
You need to give the land, you need to give tax exemption, and you need to give all the approvals via one entity only. What happened in Egypt as a boom in real estate is the reason for that. They gave land on the sea for $1 and $2 per square meter.
Okay.
So if you buy 30 million square meter, which is huge, it's 15 times the size of 18, you'll pay only $30 million. And you'll have a huge resort on the Red Sea. Then they take, not only that, they don't ask you even for 100% of the payment. They get 7% of the payment. 7%. And they allocate the land for you. So you end up with $2 million owning a huge resort on the Red Sea. You just need to develop it. So then you get the 10 years and 20 years tax exemptions. Why do you need to make the life of the investor difficult? I guarantee you do this law. I have Qatari, Omani, Bahraini, Emirati, Egyptians, Saudi, that will bring in billions of investment around the country.
So given that you've been in Pakistan for 6 years now, how has your personal experience been like? How have you found Pakistan? How do you like living here? How has it all been?
There's a lot of similarities between Egyptians and Pakistanis. I find myself very much at ease, and I found myself very much at ease from the very beginning. I want to drive on my own. I want to go to the market on my own. I want to bargain with the guys. I want to talk. I want to fight. I want to do exactly the same things that I do in Egypt. I found life here very peaceful. The cultures are the same in the way we eat.
A lot of similarities.
In the dress maybe look different, but it's the same idea.
The
You
idea
need to
is
be covered here, you need
covered.
to do this. The markets, they function the same way. Even when I walk the dog around the park, they behave the same way. So the kids
love
come
that.
to me, but the elders, they are scared, and then you need to speak to them. It's all the same.
Oh.
It's the same in the taste of the food. It's the same in the quantity of food. It's the same in
I
Ramadan.
love how he's saying quantity of the food.
Yes, it's all the same. Whatever they do in the driving is you're even slightly better. We are like horrible in Egypt, but I guarantee you that the employees, they behave exactly the same.
Okay.
They lie the same lies. They are late the same way. They work the same way. They have
so
the
then
same
in that
work.
way, you had less challenges to face.
I have no challenges whatsoever. Dealing with people, I love the people. I even asked the sponsors not to take me from here.
Yeah.
And this is the longest I have stayed in a project ever.
Okay.
And I expect to stay here, inshallah, if I can, until I can live in 18 and deliver the whole of the project.
Well, we are very glad to have a person as talented with the business acumen that you have, and you're here in our country. It is a big thing for us as well, because obviously you're contributing in a very positive way. Moving on, when we talk about women empowerment, and in the past few years things have gotten much better, and women are now out and about, they're working, and social media has also helped them, in starting up their own ventures and all of that. What is your take on women being part of the workforce, and what is the stance of 18 when it comes to hiring women?
We have taken a very strong stance on that, because I'm a strong believer in the woman's ability to deliver. Because a woman would be sick, would be carrying a child, but will still be working, right? But a man will get a flu and he'll be at home.
Be in the bed.
And we know that. So I try not to do that too often, but I still do it. So I believe in that. And we have a few examples that can tell you, like our general manager of the clubhouse is a woman.
Okay.
Our HR director is a woman.
That's great.
Our head of CRM and director of CRM is a woman.
Okay.
I personally, in my CEO office, I'm surrounded with women executives and managers for PR and all of that.
Great.
So we do have a mix of about 35% to 65%, where women have full support, and they have the same pay level, same pay grade.
That's amazing.
They get the same treatment in terms of leaves or promotion. On the contrary, we actually even protect them further.
So while I was coming upstairs, I saw this beautiful architectural model of 18, and I would want you to show us around a bit more. So I think we should go to that space.
Absolutely. Okay, so the project basically is this. This is a maquette, architectural model representation
amazing.
of what we have.
It looks amazing on the model, I'm sure.
Yes, I mean, obviously with the more green on the in reality, it looks even more amazing.
Yeah.
This is a 2.3 million square meter.
Okay.
It's 600 acres, it's 4,839 canals, and it's divided in two phases.
Okay.
Phase 1 is all the way till you see the blue lakes over there.
Okay.
And phase 2 is mostly the second part of it.
Okay. I did gauge that sustainability is an important element within 18. How are you guys making sure to, apply that in physicality?
So physicality number 1 is to reduce the density of the project. So we build on 16% of the land.
That's amazing.
And since we build on 16% of the land, so we give more area for breathing. We have the center of the project is a golf course, which is about 220 acres. 35% of the project is a golf course.
Okay.
So we have a lot of public spaces, area, gardens, open spaces, and much less buildings than everyone else. So that's number 1 element of sustainability. But when it comes to water, we have a rain and storm water collection through the culverts and through lakes. These are all natural lakes that we are consolidating. We are making sure that fortifying them to capture water, keep water.
Okay.
And the nullas and the flood streams go to sewage treatment plant, which they call STP, for water treatment, and then it's used as grey water for irrigation.
Amazing.
So instead of displacing the water table and going boreholes and all of that like everyone else, we're using the nature, we're using natural storm, rain collection, and STP. So So that's the second element of sustainability. The third and the final element of sustainability would be the electric power. We have a whole network of electric power, but we have also a solar farm so that we can actually compensate and offset some of the electric generation.
And you guys have won international awards in that aspect as well?
Yes, we did. We have applied in the International Property Award for residential mixed use and all of that, and we kept on winning in the category of sustainability because we have accounted for all of that.
That's amazing. In your vision, according to you, what do you think is the unique selling point of 18?
The unique selling point of 18 is the lifestyle that is unified on guidelines. It's a very important thing because when you live around you and there are no guidelines in the estate, it becomes very difficult. There is eye pollution, light pollution, color pollution, plus density. So when you are living in a space, it creates a lifestyle. It's more of a retreat, it's more of a resort.
Definitely.
It's a unique element, but the location of the project as well could be a unique selling point. It's not only on the crossroads going to Lahore and Peshawar, and going to the airport 10 minutes away, but it's also very close to Islamabad. And having said the airport, the flight path of the planes is not at all in front on top of the project.
Well,
so
that's
you never
important.
hear any plane.
Okay. So no planes hovering over.
Nothing at all.
That's great. We have the villas and then there are the heights. Do you want to elaborate a bit on that?
Yes, of course. The villas, they are 10 clusters and we've named each cluster around a flower name.
Okay.
From the fauna of Pakistan and all of this. So dandelion, we've named lantana, we've named marigold, morena, and the rest of the clusters as well. So this comes under the villas. So they are separated in terms of clusters and areas. The heights, when we talk about the heights, we have three types of heights. So we have apartments overlooking hills, like Hillview, overlooking the hill and the highest point. We have Lake View, which are these 7 buildings. They are in front of the major lakes. And then we have Gulf View, which are mainly on the Gulf around here, around the best kind of 3.
So this basically allows you to target all sorts of market segments.
Absolutely.
And studio apartment, and then you have villas of all sizes. So it's going to cater to almost all segments of the market.
But you need to know that 18 is not expensive because our majority of our projects, 70 or 80%, are catering for the middle class, which is studios and 1 bed and 2 beds, 5 and 10 marlas. These are not the big houses. The big houses, we have limited 60 or 70 units on the big houses.
But I think this is amazing, very impressive. Very impressive.
And finally, we intend to create a retail village around here, which is about 100,000 square meter, about 1 million square foot of land that will create a unique experience of retail experience called, like a retail experience like the Souk Waqif or City Walk in Dubai, all of that will be around here. So this will be accessible for resident and non-resident, but we'll have culinary experiences, retail, banks, Carrefour kind of shops, that kind of thing.
I think this is great. Let's head back to your office space. Being a professional in the business for so long, what is your leadership style? How do you manage your team? What is your approach regarding that?
Well, the approach and with the team, it's only about communication. Open door policy. Everyone can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they say. They need to achieve the job. So we need to be informed, all of us. We need to be communicated well. We need to respect each other. And it has to be an atmosphere of teamwork. An atmosphere of teamwork, and we cannot have any concession on that. So this is the main thing.
So like you are an approachable boss,
Absolutely.
right?
My door is always open. I'm all the time in meetings. I know my team one person by one person, name by name. I even am interested in their personal lives whenever I can help or
well,
can
that's
give
how
advice.
they feel valued as well at an organization.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
This is what
I think
it
that's
is.
great.
And I think we've created a nice family and all of that at 18.
That's great. So you are a man of great talent, hard work, ambition. You're an example of a successful professional. Who has been your role model or inspiration in life?
At the beginning of my real estate career was a managing director called Munir Youssef. I mean, he died, may God bless his soul, but he was my inspiration because he was very hardworking, very energetic. And the man I learned the most from was my American boss, James Pringle. So if I look at my role models, I've had a few. I picked the best out of the few that I met, and I think that Naguib, our boss, has very strong belief and is very stubborn in achieving success, which I like, because even when I start to, to lay down my hands a little bit, seeing him, he just pushes me up.
And what does the future hold when we talk about 18? What projects and things are in pipeline?
The advantage of our group is that every project is different. The reason why 18 is successful is because the name, the choice, the positioning was done specifically for that project.
Location.
However, the Aura group, which we represent, would want to go on the sea to create a new seashore kind of destination.
Okay.
So it will be holiday homes, second holiday homes, nicely done, affordable, providing sea and nautical experiences with a nice yacht club and nice activity as well, aquatic activities. So we're studying this. So I think that we've looked as well as mountain projects like Tandiani, we've looked at some things in Abu Tabat, we've looked at further to a ski resort as well. But I don't think that this will be the next one. I think that the next one will be definitely on the seashores.
Seashore, well, that sounds very exciting. For you, what is the idea of happiness?
Oh, the idea of happiness for me has always been something you achieve.
And are there any anger issues? And if there are any, how do you manage your temper?
I am very calm when it comes to people, dealing with people.
Okay.
My anger comes let's say rarely. When it comes, it's really bad.
Like
but I'm not violent, and I try to confine myself for a few minutes until I calm down.
Okay. Well, it's a human emotion. Everyone has it to some extent. What is that one activity or habit or one thing that you resort to just release that stress?
And you know the answer, it's football.
Football.
Definitely. I play football immediately to relieve my stress, because shooting the ball and all of that releases a lot of energy. And once you're tired, the stress is all gone.
Okay, great. If you have to pick one destination, international, that's like really close to your heart or you really like being there?
I would definitely go back to London because I had very good time there in terms of, but not at work. At work, I'd keep working in Pakistan. And I'll go to London for leisure.
Okay. And I'm sure you've been traveling within Pakistan as well. Any specific place, spot or destination that really caught your eye and you really enjoyed being there? I
am a guy that's very affected and influenced by culture. And I think that Lahore, going to this Mughal era and all this heritage.
I have a soft spot for Lahore.
Okay, so the food is amazing. The Badshahi Mosque, this Shahi Hammam, which is a Mughal kind of World Heritage Site.
Lots of history there.
I like cultures and I like to read through, and we even have a book developed in Lahore.
Okay, to sum it up, if you have to tell us, you've had an amazing, wholesome professional journey. What has that journey taught you so far?
Well, it has taught me to wait on the decisions and not being too rushy on the decisions, because when you wait, things change.
Okay.
So if you sit on your hands, like the British would say, sit on your hands for one night, one day, 2 days, or even a week when you can.
Okay.
It has taught me to be very wise in making the decisions, like slow down, don't make them. It's like going to the supermarket, being hungry, you'll make a wrong decision, right?
This says that. Never go to the supermarket hungry.
Never when you're hungry. So never make a decision when you're angry. Never send an email when you're angry. Try to calm down, sit on your hands. So this is one thing that it has taught me. But it has taught me to really, we keep talking about faith, but it has taught me that faith works. If you have faith and you just have sabr, like they say, because what God says, it's inna Allah ma'a sabrina is a sabr. Iza means like I'm with the patient guy only if he's patient.
Definitely.
So that means that you're patient already, but you need to be patient a bit more. I am very patient. I have a lot of tolerance and I can calm myself down and sit on my hand. This is the main thing that I've learned in life.
To end our conversation, I would want you to give a message or any words of wisdom to all those young professionals who are starting out their careers and they are thinking of starting something up. What would you tell them?
I would definitely tell them the new traits of the young generation is that they want to make money quickly and they want to reach
very
quickly.
Impatient.
Yes, and one of them is my son. They just don't care about how much education they get. They don't care about how much exposure they get, but they go for the job that will pay the most, or a sales job that will pay them commission without forming themselves, without looking at the foundation, at the core of their content. I think that with my education, being an engineer, speaking 4 languages, learning Urdu now as a 5th language, having an MBA and a postgraduate certificate from Sheffield Hallam, and waiting and working with a diverse experience, it had paid off, right?
Definitely.
I've been lucky throughout,
Yeah.
but I'm still now at 55 and I'm the CEO of a big group and a big project. So it did pay out.
Yeah.
And it paid back everything that I have actually invested in myself. They need to be patient because no one, it's not normal that you're going to make money between 20 and 30. 20 and 30, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
30 to 40, you start getting those positions, and 40 to 50, you make the money. You don't make the money before. So just be patient. If you're lucky and you do it before.
But the youth doesn't think like that.
No, they don't.
They are not going to wait till 40.
And they don't care about doing an MBA or a master's or education, although it gives you some solid formation
But
and foundation.
that's why I wanted you to share these words, because this kind of makes sense. That you're right, that we need to, give time and we need to form our professional character as well.
Absolutely.
Before we start getting the return. So definitely great words of wisdom. I had an amazing time with this conversation. I got to learn so much, and we are so happy that you're here and you're contributing so positively for our country. And thank you so much for taking out the time and sharing your experiences with us.
Nisma, thank you so much. You made it so easy for me, and the conversation was absolutely amazing and delightful and comfortable.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for hosting me and having me today, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So this was our conversation with Mr. Tarek Hamdy. Truly a conversation like no other, where he told us about all his experiences and how he is bringing his global business acumen to Pakistan and how he is making a positive contribution to our country. For more such conversations, keep on watching our show, Meet the CEO, only on Discover Pakistan.